Gentlemen, ladies, welcome back. Sandamtod here, heading into Halloween weekend. And I didn't do my normal walk around the Halloween store this year. Didn't have the time, and basically I figured it's the same as the other 2 years I've walked around the Halloween store, so I didn't do that this year. But figured we'd show some of my favorite titles that are more geared toward the horror genre and talk about them for a minute. These aren't really in a particular order, but I do have a couple that are probably my favorite out of all of them. Most of the stuff you've seen, especially if you watch my channel over the 2 years I've been doing videos, so you'll know kind of what I'm showing here. You've probably seen it before, but we'll go over it anyway and refresh our memory. First things first, we're going to start with the PlayStation 1. I've got some PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 stuff, and a couple other things. So we're going to get started. But first things first, one of my favorites for the PlayStation 1, and one of the games that really got me started in the horror, survival horror or horror genre, would be this game here, and you all know it and love it. That would be Resident Evil, the original one in the long box. This one's in good shape. It's got a little wear along the top edge, but I'm not complaining too much. It's complete. The teeth on this are still good, which I hate these ones like this where you can't replace the tray, so you got to be real careful with those, otherwise those teeth will get busted and then your disc won't sit in there right. So that was one of my favorites. I remember playing through it, like I said, at my cousin's house, and then it caused me to end up buying a PlayStation. So it was one of those that definitely sticks with you, and when you think of the horror genre, you do think of Resident Evil. Maybe not the original one, but at least one of the games. That's the only Resident Evil game I'm going to show, though. A second game, and one of the early ones that I picked up for the system that was kind of a horror game, and it might not really seem like it, is this game right here, and that game is D for the PlayStation. I think, did I pick this up? I haven't picked it up yet, but they do have it for the 3DO. I have D2 for the Dreamcast, but it's more like a... It's not the same type of game. It's a different styled game. This one is complete. It's on 3 discs, and you basically have an hour, 3 hour. I think it's 3 hours to get through it, and it's played in real time, and there's no pause button. So you have to like take a break in between discs if you want to take a break. So. I remember not beating this game quite a few times before I finally figured out how to do it, and I think it's got two. I think it's got 2 or 3 different endings to it actually. The D, as far as I could gather, even though they have a bunch of different things on the back of it, basically stood for like Dracula, because you turns out your spoiler. The guy at the end of the game who's your dad is actually like a vampire, I think. So this game is, and it's still, this one, I don't know why, because I bought it when I was early on in the system, and I've just always had it, and I've never traded it off. But I've seen this game for $20 or $30, and I don't know why it's still that expensive. I think it's an okay game, but I don't know if it's got, some other reason why it's so pricey sometimes. I got 2 more PlayStation games here. This is another one that came out early on the system. I cannot deny this game as far as horror games go, and that would be Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain. This is the original. This is the one that started the series. You're a Nosferatu, a vampire, and you basically are just kicking everybody's ass. And so, this game, it was the first game I remember you were sucking blood from your enemies and stuff. And I don't know if it's as scary. It's not a horror game in a sense that you're, jumping out of your seat, kind of like Resident Evil would give you those scares and stuff. But this game definitely fits into the genre, and I'm glad to have it. I remember my uncle told me about this one. Actually, he had played it, rented it, and played it, and told me about it. And at the time, I didn't think much of it until I bought Soul Reaver, and I played Soul Reaver, and then I came back to this. So, actually, Soul Reaver was the one I played through first. I did not put Soul Reaver in these games because I didn't think Soul Reaver was that scary. Uh, Blood Omen's not that scary, but it does deal with vampires and blood and stuff, and Soul Reaver's souls and things like that. It's not the same deal, so... The final PlayStation 1 game we have here, folks, sorry. I remember when I saw this came out, I was not reading like gaming magazines and stuff at the time, so I didn't know they were even going to make this game, and I happened to be at the game exchange and saw it used. Somebody had traded it in, and I bought a used copy, and for some reason the game wouldn't play. It was skipping on my system. I took it back to him and got a refund on it and went out and bought a brand new copy. But that game is Evil Dead, Hail to the King. Now, I've never beat this game. I did make it through. It's a 2-disc game, and I did make it through the first disc, but I never actually beat both discs. So I've never beaten this one, but the play control is a little wonky for me now, so it's a little hard for me to play it. It's one of those, kind of like the first Resident Evil, where up's always forward, and it's a little hard to go back to that style of play when you've been playing these 360-degree games for so long. But that game's got a lot of good scares and a lot of blood, and you got a chainsaw on your arm, for crying out loud. So I mean, it's gotta be fun. So, and that will not be the only one, because we're moving on to the PlayStation 2. When this game came out, I also could not pass it up. If you can't tell, Evil Dead is one of my favorite series, but I picked up the Fistful of Boomstick as soon as it came out. This is one of those games that was not that expensive. It was like a $20 title, brand new, and it's just fun. It's not super hard, and it's not super long, and it's just kind of fun to breeze through it and blow some guys away, and have fun. So, Ash is back, baby. That's what it says in the back. Bruce Campbell did do the voice on both games, which is awesome. I always was glad that they did that, because he's got that distinctive style, and I heard they're going to reboot the Evil Dead, and do it from the beginning, and not have Bruce Campbell in it as Ash. They're going to have somebody else and just basically take it from the beginning. And I don't know how I feel about that, because my whole reason why I like those movies is the B movie, under budget quality, kind of guerrilla filmmaking style, cheesy nuance of it. And nowadays, even little movies are getting, $30-50 million budgets, and it's just, I don't know that I'll have to see what they do. It's Sam and Bruce. I mean, Sam's gonna write it, and Bruce is gonna, produce it with him, and I think Sam's gonna direct it. So, I don't see how it could be too bad. We'll just wait. I gotta wait and see, But I am kind of happy that they're doing something with the series. So that's cool. The next game is one that I definitely enjoyed, but I haven't actually finished either, and that would be the game. This is my favorite of the series. I really didn't play it after the third one, but that is Silent Hill 2. This game, you start off and you end up in this town, and you just, there's nothing there. It's so desolate, and there's fog, and it's really atmospheric, and there's not a lot around. So every corner you're going around, you're waiting for something to jump out and kick the shit out of you. So it's one of those that keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time, you know. And kind of reminds me a little bit of Alan Wake. Alan Wake is another one that's good. It's not in this little pile here, but Alan Wake was a pretty good game. I don't know that it'll ever see a sequel. I never played any of the extended content, the downloadable content, so I don't know about the other two chapters they tacked onto the game, but I thought it was pretty good. What I played through, I thought the end boss was a little easy, but other than that, the end boss was a little bit easy. But anyway, this series here is one of my favorites as well, and this one is definitely scary. It does have you on the edge of your seat, and you're constantly seeing things out of the corner of your eye. You know I've talked about this before, and I just recently picked up the third one in the last video, but that would be Fatal Frame. Fatal Frame 1, 2. Fatal Frame 2 is the only one I've beaten of all the games. But it's probably the best one. I don't know. I can't say it's the best one. I really haven't even given the first one a shot. I'd say out of the 2 and 3, 2 is probably more of my favorite. I think 3 actually picks up with... I think all 3 of them pick up with different characters. So it's never a continuation of the same person story. So, and Fatal Frame 1, like I said, and it's got some cool spooky imagery on the back. So, you know... Basically, you take these pictures of these ghosts with a special camera, and it I don't know, traps their essence in the picture or something. But sometimes it takes a while to kill them or kill them. I do a lot of air quotes. Finally, we're down to it. These are probably my favorites, and because I never expected in a million years I'd find these. I actually found them out at the Vintage Stock in Lee Summit. And even though that store rarely has anything I want, this is the whole reason why I always go into that store, even though I don't ever find anything anymore. And that's these two games here. They're Atari 2600 games. You may be able to guess, and I've shown them before, but I'll show them again. They are the games the Angry Video Game Nerd went over in one of his first Halloween specials. But that would be the game Halloween for the 2600 and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So these, like I said, I remember watching the Angry Video Game Nerd video and him saying, you know, some of them they didn't even put labels on because they were liquidating them because nobody was buying them or whatever, and some of them just had like masking tape on them with the name written on it and stuff. But these actually have the stickers on them, and they both work, and they're pretty cool. So the sticker quality is definitely low budget, even for back then. The quality is really pixelated on the picture. But like I said, how would I ever come across these? I mean, to be honest, I mean, I don't know if I've ever checked on eBay or on Amazon if they had them for sale, but and I don't have the boxes. I just have the cards. But to find those, and I think they only wanted I think $1.99 a piece, maybe $2 a piece for them, maybe only $1, but I think it was more like $1.99. To find those, I don't know. It's like finding the Snatcher in a way. This is one of those things that you're never, you know, expecting to come across it, and when you do, it's something that you gotta be able to pay for. And I didn't, like I said, on this, I even got a deal. So the Halloween one, of course, you're I think you play Mike Myers chasing. No, the Halloween one, you're the Jamie Lee Curtis character trying to get away from Mike Myers. And then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you actually Leatherface with the chainsaw chasing people. So, these are special to me, and I usually keep them put up. Um, but that about does it for my Halloween kind of scary game genre video. Hope you guys having a good rest of your weekend and Halloween. Happy Halloween to everybody coming up here, and we move on into the fall, into Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year, and keep chugging along. So, anyway, folks, thanks for coming by and watching. This is my channel. This is what I do. So, if you don't like it, don't watch it. just don't watch it. Just just find something else to watch. um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Some guy left a comment on my last video that just really bothered me. I apologize to anybody that read that comment or whatever and thought it was a little harsh. My response back to the guy, but he's basically talking out of his ass because he doesn't know me and know my situation and know that my mom lives with me and that I take care of her and take her to the hospital and make sure she makes it to her doctor's appointments, make sure her her air machine's working, make sure everything, I get her prescriptions for her. He's treating me like I'm some unemployed schmuck living in my parents' basement at 40 years old, telling me that I need to get a life. And to be fair, I'm busting my ass to make sure that the bills are paid and that my mom has a place to stay and is comfortable with her problems. And to make comments when you don't know the situation just really bothers me. So I kind of went off on the guy. So I don't really apologize to him because he's a jerk. So whatever. But anyway, the rest of you, if you read that comment and thought it was a little harsh at my response or whatever, it's just because I get ticked off when people don't know the situation and presume to tell you what they think about you without knowing you. And I knew the guy was a troll or a bomb thrower anyway, because he's never commented on my videos before. So anyway, I'm sorry. It still bothered me because I just don't understand people that would do that to somebody that they don't know. So anyway, 99.9% of the people I've ever dealt with on here are cool. And anybody that's even ever left a comment like that after I explained to them, they kind of backed off or said they didn't know and they were kind of apologetic. But this guy just was very rude. So whatever. I got to get over it. I got to let it go. But things like that just eat me up. So anyway, thanks, folks. I'm sorry. I guess maybe since I talked about it a little bit, I'd get it off my chest. Maybe I'll let it go. So like I said, I don't judge anybody, and what they want to do with their lives is their business. And if you want to collect video games, you collect video games. If you want to go out drinking every night, go out drinking every night. Just don't drive, because that, you're putting people's lives at risk. But you want to do drugs or smoke pot or do whatever you do, that's none of my business. And I don't judge people on their business. Gay, straight, whatever you want to do, if you're not hurting nobody, it don't hurt me. So it just bugs me when other people think they can tell you what you should do with your life and what their perception of, your life should be. So anyway, folks, I'm turning this into a rant at the end of this video, so I'm sorry. So anyway, signing off. See you next video. I do have a package that came that I'm going to show and do a little gameplay on. It's another box Nintendo game. It's nothing super exciting, but I do have another package anyway. I don't know how much we're going to be buying out of pocket, because like I said, I'm kind of on the dollar menu, at least for another week through the end of the month. I gotta get paid on the 1st and take care of my bills, and then we'll see where my slush fund for video games is sitting. So signing off. Happy Halloween. Bye.